Coming up on this hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, it is Black Friday. That means many of you will be spending the day shopping. What you need to know to make sure that you're not the victim of theft this holiday season.
And here's a look at what other stories we're covering in your neighborhood.
The holidays are in full swing, and so is the price of meat. I'm Jada Jenkins, and I'll show you how some shoppers are choosing cheaper cuts before their holiday dinner.
Adopt an angel. I'm Stephanie Molina, and I'll tell you how you can help out a child this holiday season.
Good morning, folks. Happy Friday and welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. You're waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. We are dancing on into the weekend because we have to dance off those calories that we ate yesterday.
Okay, dance fast.
Yeah, we overate a little bit. Let's check in with our meteorologist, Stephen Jones. Are we going to be sweating off some of those calories? And we got to check in on the roadways before people head out the doors, too.
Absolutely, though. I think you're right. You know, it's not looking too bad in terms of the sweat for today. So hopefully maybe everybody's getting out for a good run. But if you're heading out the door, plenty of greens on the board. A perfect way to start off our Friday. And looking out there, let's get into it here at the Harbor Bridge, starting off first there to and from Portland. Good and green this morning if you're going to be heading that direction. Into the Corpus Christi area, Ocean Drive, no major slowdowns to report, as well as SPID, Saratoga, and Crosstown Expressway all coming in the clear. The only minor slowdown there along Rodfield as you're coming up to SPID. Over into Flower Bluff Drive, nice and green. Waldron Road, pretty much the same as we're looking out there. And finally over towards the island as well. Plenty of greens on the board, really what we want to see as we're kicking off our Friday. So let's take a look at those drive times as well for you out the door. Sitting at 22 minutes from downtown to the island, 8 from Portland to downtown. If you're heading from Cal Allen to downtown, looking about 15 minutes. So across the board, plenty of greens. Wherever you're going to this morning, going to be good and green to kick off your Friday.
Hey, thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate you, sir. Well, it is Black Friday, which means many Americans are getting ready to shop their little hearts out. And many are on the hunt for the best deals on electronics and holiday gifts, right? The National Retail Federation projects a record 186.9 million people will shop between Thanksgiving Day and Cyber Monday this year. A consumer survey found that Black Friday remains the most popular day to shop. The group is forecasting that holiday spending will surpass $1 trillion for the first time during November and December. Now, spending on gift cards alone is expected to top $29 billion. And just a quick reminder, folks, if you're going to be out there shopping today, the Corpus Christi Police Department wants to remind you to lock your doors. Shopping centers are hot spots for thieves, and according to CCPD, last year alone, there were 1,600 auto burglaries here. And 7,000 of those cars were unlocked. Don't make it easy for those Grinches. If you like it, lock it. Well, there are still a couple of city closures due to Thanksgiving holiday that you need to know about. City Hall and the city call centers, they're going to be closed today, along with all public libraries and animal care services. For a complete list, you can head on over to our website. That's christv.com.
In your national headlines now, one of the 2 National Guard soldiers shot during Wednesday's attack has died. Sarah Beckstrom was 20 years old and she joined the Guard in 2023. She reportedly volunteered to work this week so others could go home to spend Thanksgiving with their families. In announcing her death, President Trump called Beckstrom a highly respected person. The second victim, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, is in critical condition, and the shooting is now being investigated as an act of terror. And the Trump administration is launching a sweeping review of some legal immigration records. The director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced the agency will re-examine every green card given to immigrants from 19 countries considered of concern. This comes on the heels of Wednesday's shooting. The suspect entered the U.S. in 2021 under Operation Allies Welcome after helping American troops in Afghanistan. He was granted asylum in April. And the death toll in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong apartment fire has risen to 94 with dozens still missing. According to officials, 76 people have been injured, including 11 firefighters. Search and rescue teams continue to look for people trapped inside the complex, and authorities have launched a criminal investigation. So far, 3 people have been arrested. The cause of the fire is still unknown.
The holiday season is here, and meat prices are still putting pressure on families. Local meat market owner Peter Patel says prices spiked in September and have only come down slightly, nowhere near enough for most shoppers to return to their traditional cuts. He says many of his customers are still choosing cheaper options to stretch their budgets. At the shop, several shoppers told me they're making the same adjustments, swapping out full turkeys or more expensive meats for whatever costs less. They say it's a sign of the times, but even with high prices, they're determined not to miss their holiday dinners with family.
Well, hey there, and good Friday morning, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones, taking a live look out at our USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank. The new Harbor Bridge in view. A few more cars starting to head out there for that Friday morning commute. The aquarium nice and lit up and a little warmer than we were starting off yesterday. 63 degrees. Those winds out of the northeast right now. 10 miles an hour over here on the Lex cam. When we're looking at those temperatures in your neighborhood, off to the north, a little bit cooler. 58 there in Beeville. 60 the number for George West this morning. The same as you work your way over to Alice, but a little warmer along the coast. Port Aransas coming in at 70 degrees. The Naval Air Station there at 69 this morning. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Bella here on the board, just enjoying some nice sun rays. And as we go into today, not going to be as much sun, Bella, but as you get ready for that walk to get the mail, not too bad. 71 by 9 a.m. holding on to that 73 degree mark. Pretty good as we go into the early afternoon because we're only warming up towards about 75 or so. Those winds going to be out of the east and then the southeast into the afternoon at that 10 to 15 mile an hour mark, if not a little bit more, with gusts getting upwards of 30 miles an hour at times. You can see by about 11 a.m. through 5 p.m., 31 to 35 miles an hour for some of those gusts expected. So we were pretty breezy yesterday. Today going to be even a little breezier, and looking like tomorrow could be similar to today as well. Forecast highs in your neck of the woods, those lower to mid 70s is what we're expecting around the entire coastal bend for today. If we get a little bit more sunshine, can't rule out some of those upper 70s returning to the board as well. But over the next few days, going to be a bit of a roller coaster tomorrow, expecting the 80s and some more humid conditions, so a little bit more sweat tomorrow. But as we go into Sunday, that's where you see the sweater weather return, going into the upper 50s and holding on to that into Monday, if not Tuesday as well. As we go into the back half of next week, that's where we sit closer to that average mark in the lower 70s and potentially the mid 70s as we go into next weekend. For the radar, nice and clear right now here in the coastal bend, starting to get just a little bit of activity out to the west towards Freer, but very light rain at that as it works in. And that's going to be the story of all the rain that we see today. Just going to be very brief, isolated passing showers as we work through our Friday. So you could keep the umbrella on standby just to be on the safe side. But as we go into tomorrow night, whenever we're anticipating that front to start to make its arrival, that's where we see the best rain chances start to line up along it, working in towards Saturday night and going into early Sunday morning with maybe some thunderstorm activity as well. The potential for severe weather is there as well. Not here in Corpus Christi as much, but as you work your way off to the north towards Victoria and Bay City, sitting around that level 1 out of 5 risk in terms of some severe weather popping up with this system. For our rain chances here in Corpus Christi over the next 7 days, some decent chances on the board, especially Saturday through the Monday timeframe. Then as we go into Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we start to see another rain chance popping up on the board. So I'm going to see some above average rainfall in terms of what we'd normally see for this time of year, and I'm definitely going to be happy about it being on the board. So as we look at our 7-day forecast, we talked about this front's arrival going to drop us way down into those upper 50s by Sunday and Monday, but more scattered rain chances on the board as we go into early and middle of next week, with overnight lows starting to rise up from those lower 40s by Monday night into those lower 60s by the time we're heading towards Thursday.
Well, today is one of the busiest shopping days of the year, but beware of scams. Coming up on Sunrise Scripps News Group's Nathaniel Reed will have more on what you need to know before shopping this holiday season. Welcome back, folks. We are getting a live look from our Lex cam. Shaky. Yeah, it's looking pretty windy out there. We're going to be checking in, though, on the weather plus the roadways with meteorologist Stephen Jones in just a little bit to find out how long this wind is going to join us. But first, we're going to talk about what day it is today. Well, Americans are getting ready to shop their little hearts out today, being Black Friday. Many are on the hunt for the best deals on electronics and holiday gifts, but are some Black Friday deals too good to be true?
Sometimes they are. To talk about that, we bring in congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed. Excuse me. Good morning, Nate. We hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. So what are lawmakers saying shoppers should be on the lookout for?
Well, Michelle, you take a couple of days off and you forgot my name. Well, welcome back.
Never.
I'm looking on Hoffman's. I'm looking online for that flight deal to Brazil. because that
There
looked
was
pretty
no flight
sweet.
deal.
I mean, I don't know. I could head down there. But the one thing you got to look out for is making sure that URL you enter in before you put in your credit card information or give any personal information is a legitimate site. And the message from the top Democrat on the Joint Economic Committee up on Capitol Hill, if that deal online looks too good to be true, it probably is. Take a listen.
We saw a 2,000% increase last holiday season over the previous one in these phishing emails. There are also been a doubling of fraudulent websites that also look like they belong to a legitimate retailer. So I want to make people aware that with Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming, the scammers are out in force.
And again, if you're looking online for those holiday deals, just be mindful of the site that you're ordering from. Make sure you don't have any typos in there. If you get an email advertising a deal online, that's something to look out for too. Just make sure that you are shopping on legitimate websites. And again, that old saying goes, if that deal online looks too good to be true, it probably is. And look, guys, I just searched for some Brazil flight deals. I found this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I will not be going on a vacation like that. But I'm very envious and welcome back, of course, just in time for Turkey Day.
Yeah, next time we'll take you with you, Nate. We promise, man.
Oh, thank you. I'll fit in your check luggage.
Yes. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time, sir. We hope you have a great weekend ahead of you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, and good Friday morning, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live look at our Snoopy's Pier Skycam. Thanks to Matthew CCAC, plenty of cloud cover on the board. Part of why we're staying so warm this morning, 69 over here on Snoopy's Skycam. Winds out of the east at 13 miles an hour. The water nice and calm, though, as we're starting off our Friday. Looking back at yesterday for Thanksgiving, we were 2 degrees above average for both the morning low and that daytime high, coming in at 55 and 75. Either way, short of those records. 31 back from 2010 for that record low. The rainfall wise, coming up on 10.5 inches in terms of a rainfall deficit for 2025. So hopefully we start to get a little bit more back into the region. And taking a look at what to expect today, we're going to start to put just the tiniest dent in that rainfall deficit. For mostly cloudy skies with cool temperatures is what we're going to be seeing. Already seeing that this morning. Breezy winds out of the southeast. That's going to be sticking around at least into the afternoon and tomorrow, it looks like. And then also those isolated brief showers passing from southwest to northeast. Not going to be major downpours, but going to see a few specks of green on the radar as we're stepping out and about today. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Bella here just enjoying some nice sun rays. Not going to be as much sun today, unfortunately, Bella, but as we get ready for that walk, going to get the mail. Not too bad either. 71 by 9 a.m. Holding on to that 73-degree mark as we head out for lunch and into the early afternoon, with winds picking up out of the east and then the southeast at that 15 to 20 mile an hour mark. And like I said, the breezy winds going to be continuing as we roll into the afternoon. Some of those wind gusts getting upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour by about 2 to 3 p.m. As we go into the overnight, still holding on to some gusty conditions with that prefrontal warming we're expecting for tomorrow, putting us back into those 80s. For feels like temperatures today though, still going to be nice and mild in the low to mid 70s. Feels like temperatures around 73 degrees for that daytime high, with the breezy conditions that we're expecting. Actual air temperatures likely to push up around 75 degrees or so. As we're looking at the radar, currently starting to get just a little bit of activity on the screen, and this is really the moral of the weather that we're going to be seeing today. We're that just like light green on the board going into Freer right now. Those are the brief spotty showers that we're going to continue to see working into our area closer to Corpus Christi as we go into the later morning and then the afternoon hours. You can see how brief they're going to be and just not looking like a major downpours, but the better chance for some of those downpours going to work in as we go into tomorrow night. You could keep your eyes towards the north there, where we start to see that next cold front getting ready to arrive as we go into very early Sunday morning. Going to bring that thunderstorm chance with it, even a severe chance for areas northwest or northeast, of the coastal bend towards the Houston area, where you could have that level 1 out of 5 risk. As we look at our 7-day forecast here in Corpus Christi, nice and cool to start off December next week, going into those upper 50s with some more scattered rain chances as we warm up into Wednesday.
Well, hey, it is Friday, folks. Some of you might be heading out for some, post-Thanksgiving travel. Let's make sure that your gas tank is filled up and your wallet isn't totally empty with the cheapest prices around the coastal bend. Welcome back, everyone. So I am tracking those gas prices for you all around the coastal bend, as well as some fluctuation across the country, saving you that extra little bit of scratch that can go a long way. So let's start out with the latter, right? The national average, according to Gas Tracker, Gas Buddy, I should say, is $2.95. Good to see it under that $3 range, even if it's just by 5 cents. As for the Lone Star State, $2.56 is the average. Doing good here in Texas. What about the coastal bend? Well, let's take a quick peek at Corpus Christi prices. Circle K and Holly Road have the cheapest in town at $2.56 right there. As for our Portland friends, you're paying just a tiny bit more, right? $2.57. That's over at the Texan and the Murphy USA, the one there right next to Walmart. If you're out there on the island, you're always going to be paying a little bit more. But the cheapest price I was able to find at half the stations at $2.64. Watch out for a couple that are close to that $2.70 range, especially in that Port A area. If you can find cheaper prices than these guys, because they do fluctuate during the day, it might be worthwhile stopping and filling up. And I'll have all of these prices posted online. That's KrisTV.com.
Well, good Friday morning there, Coastal Bend, taking a live look out at our USS Lexington cam brought to us by First Community Bank. Not too bad, just a little windy out there this morning. The new Harbor Bridge in view. A few cars starting to head out there for that Friday morning commute as we're getting closer to 6:30 a.m. But as we're looking at the traffic flow, plenty of greens on the board and exactly like what we want to see as we're starting off our Friday morning. Now let's break it down into the Harbor Bridge. First to and from Portland this morning, good and green on the board into Corpus Christi. Ocean Drive, no major slowdowns to report, as well as SPID, Saratoga, and Crosstown Expressway. A couple of minor slowdowns there, Rodfield as you come up to SPID, and also the intersection there of Ocean Drive and Ennis-Jocelyn. As we work our way over towards Flower Bluff now, Flower Bluff Drive, nice and green, as well as Waldron Road over towards the island. Plenty of greens also on the board there, so exactly what we like to see as we give you a look at your drive times, really wherever you're coming to and or coming from and going to this morning. Going to be a great morning to head out there and kick off your Friday.
I'm John Matteries. As you wait for those Black Friday and Cyber Monday deliveries to arrive, the important thing is keeping those packages out of the hands of crooks. I'll show you the best way to protect your packages.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Well, hey there, and a happy Friday to you. Taking a live look out at Snoopy's Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. A good amount of low cloud cover out there, acting almost as a blanket for the coastal bend. Starting off a little warmer there at 68 degrees. The water's nice and calm, but the winds are a little up there out of the east, around 15 miles an hour or so. As we take a look back at yesterday, it was pretty similar. It was pretty breezy in the afternoon and nice and cool out there. Only 2 degrees above average for those morning lows and daytime highs, coming in at 55 and 75. Short of the record, though, that was 93 back in 1994. And rainfall-wise, coming up once again on that 10.5-inch mark in terms of a rainfall deficit for 2025. So what we're looking at for today, well, yeah, we're going to have that those cloud cover out there in pretty much the whole day. That's going to keep us nice and cool. Also, it acts as a blanket, holding in the heat during the nights, but also during the days, going to keep in some of the cool temperatures. As we look at the breezy winds, those are going to stick around out of the southeast as we go into the afternoon. 20 to 30 miles an hour, and also the chance for some rain does return today. Just only brief showers that are going to be passing by as we go into our afternoon hours. As we're looking at those temperatures out there in your neck of the woods, sitting pretty cool off to the north, 58 degrees there in Beeville, a good 12-degree run. As you work your way over to Port Aransas, coming in at 70, Alice 60 degrees, and then Cotulla 61 degrees. As we take a look over at Kingsville, coming in at that 63-degree mark, rounding us out this morning. For our dog walking forecast, here we've got Bella today, just enjoying some nice sun rays. Unfortunately, not as many of those sun rays to enjoy today. But as we look at you, or for that walk to get the mail today for Bella, 71 degrees by 9 a.m. 73 is what we're going to hold on to by 10 a.m. and into the early afternoon. Only going to warm up a couple more degrees thanks to all of that cloud cover that we're going to be expecting, as well as winds out of the east and then the southeast at that 15 to 20 mile an hour mark, with gusts getting even higher, upwards of 30 miles an hour as we roll into the afternoon by 11 a.m. even towards that dinner time time frame, 5 to 6 p.m., before we see them come down just a little bit. Only going to be still in that 20 to 25 mile an hour range, so not going to notice the decrease too much as we go into the overnight hours. Forecast highs in your neck of the woods, though, going to be chasing 71 to 75 around portions pretty much the entire coastal bend for our Friday, so pretty much a great day, feeling like room temperature as you're stepping out and about. For the Doppler radar, though, starting to get a little bit more activity out to the west towards Hebronville and Freer there, but very brief showers at that, and they're not major downpours either, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing throughout the entirety of our Friday. Just some of those brief greens you show up on the radar, and then they're going to be gone before you know it. So you could keep the umbrella with you just to be handy and keep it safe, but as we go into tomorrow, that's where I think you need it a little bit more. We're going to be anticipating the arrival of that next cold front system as we go into Saturday night and then tomorrow night and Sunday morning very early by about 2 to 3 a.m. That's where we're going to see a better rain chance get to stir it up just a little bit, but at least in terms of those better downpours coming down for the coastal bend. Overall, still not going to be a major rainfall event for us. We're going to be on the tail end of that system, but as we look at our rain chances, that's definitely where we're going to see the best chances start to peak as we're heading in towards tomorrow night with the cold front's arrival. After it passes through, they're going to be similar where we're seeing some more of those spotty showers making their way into the coastal bend. So for our 7-day forecast, let's break it down here. You can see the cold front cooling us way down from those 80s to the upper 50s by the time we're heading into early next week and starting off December already. Going to warm a little bit back up towards room temperature there by Wednesday, but one of the other things I'm definitely happy about on the board, the scattered rain chance is going to be sticking around for Monday and then into the middle of the week by next week.
Adopt an angel. I'm Stephanie Molina, and I'll tell you how you can help out a child this holiday season.
A new flu variant is causing concern ahead of the holiday season. I'm Stephanie Liebergen, and coming up, why health experts say this strain could cause problems even if you've had the flu shot.
Welcome back, and ring-a-ding-ding, because the Salvation Army's Kettle campaign is underway, but they need some ringers for today and tomorrow. It's the Salvation Army's biggest fundraising weekend of the year. Nearly 400 families have applied for assistance this year from the Salvation Army of the Coastal Bend alone. So if you've got a good bell-ringing arm and you'd like to volunteer, here's the number to call. It's 361-910-2494. The Kettle campaign runs through Christmas Eve.
So flu season is underway in the U.S., and doctors and health experts say now is the time to consider getting a flu shot, if you haven't already, of course. Scripps News Group's Stephanie Liebergen reports on a new development that's causing some increased concern this year.
As millions travel over the next few days, and with even more holiday travel around the corner, health experts are keeping a close eye on a new strain of the flu, which they say could mean we are in for a rough flu season. A new flu strain is raising alarm as winter approaches. Scientists are tracking the H3N2 subclade K variant.
Because we, as a community, don't have as much immunity to it, more people are getting sick.
The new variant is genetically different from the strain in this year's flu vaccine, so it could escape immunity even for people who got their flu shot. That could lead to increased spreading, according to infectious disease epidemiologist Catherine Troisi.
This strain so far does not seem to cause more serious disease, more hospitalizations. However, if you have more people getting sick, then there are going to be more hospitalizations.
Subclade K was first spotted late in the flu season for the southern hemisphere. In the CDC's most recent data, the K subclade made up 56% of all H3N2 flu cases, which account for the bulk of people infected.
The fact that we're seeing more H3N2 overall means we're probably in for a rougher season.
Another concern, fewer people are getting their flu vaccine. More than 2 million fewer shots were given at U.S. pharmacies through October compared to last year. That's according to health information and research company IQVIA.
Fewer people getting the vaccine means that there are going to be higher rates of flu infection because fewer people are going to be protected.
The CDC recommends nearly everyone 6 months and older should get the flu vaccine, saying it is the best way to reduce the risk of getting sick. Stephanie Liebergen, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Well, hey there, and good Friday morning, Coastal Bend. Taking a live look out at our USS Lexington cam, brought to us by First Community Bank. The new Harbor Bridge in view. A few cars starting to head out for that Friday morning commute. The aquarium nice and lit up also this morning. Temperatures a little warmer than yesterday, coming in at 63 degrees right now. Winds out of the northeast around 10 miles an hour over here on the Lex cam. As we look at those dew points out there, still fairly dry off to the north. 37 in Beeville, chasing 60 as you work your way off to the south and there along the coast, as we see some of those mid-50s here in Corpus Christi, as well as up into Ingleside and Portland starting off our Friday morning. Taking a look at those temperatures in your neck of the woods, 59 the cool spot as you work your way to the north in Beeville there, then a good 11-degree run as you work your way to the coast. 70 degrees is what Port Aransas is currently coming in at, with plenty of cloud cover and visibilities looking pretty good with the dew points fairly low right now. Breezy winds also out of the east and northeast, 10 to 15 miles an hour, going to turn more out of the southeast as we roll into the afternoon. When we're taking a look at the radar, starting to get just a little bit of activity as you work your way off to the west towards Hebronville, as well as for some of those greens popping up on the Doppler radar currently. But as we go into the afternoon and the evening hours, going to start to see that activity working its way further through the coastal bend off towards Victoria as well. So you could keep the umbrella on standby today, but really overall most of us probably going to stay dry, at least not a major rainfall event. But we do have more rain on the way, so I'll go over all those rain chances and the full 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
Now, 20 minutes of non-stop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for 20 minutes of non-stop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Of course, we have plenty of neighborhood news for you this morning. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the roadways are looking. I hope everyone has the day off, though. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully, everybody's taking an early weekend. But if you're not taking an early weekend, there is good news on the board behind me. We're seeing plenty of greens, exactly what we love to start our days with. Here's a live look out at our SPID cameras. A little busier than yesterday, but still, I think, quite a bit quieter than most of our normal Friday mornings here in the coastal bend. And as we get a good look at that traffic flow across the entire Corpus Christi area, we're going to start off with the Harbor Bridge here if you're heading to or from Portland this morning. Good and green both directions out that way. So now let's work over into Corpus Christi. Ocean Drive, no major slowdowns to report. A pretty good slowdown there on Ennis Jocelyn as you're coming up to Ocean Drive, as well as Saratoga coming up to Rodfield Road there. But otherwise looking pretty good in the Corpus Christi area for the most part. As we're looking over towards Flower Bluff now, Flower Bluff Drive, good and green, as well as Waldron Road this morning. The gates at the Naval Air Station not even looking too bad either. And as we look over to the island finally, also plenty of greens on the board, exactly what we'd like to see. So as we give you a good look at those drive times, really wherever you're coming from and going to this morning, going to be a great morning to head out and kick off your Friday.
Stephen, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. We're going to check back in with you in just a little bit. But first, tariffs and inflation are adding some complexity this Black Friday. Experts suggest planning a budget before hitting those stores or, of course, the internet. We know how easy it is to go overboard on that, right? Well, Amy Kiley reports on their advice in the context of the broader economy.
Today is Black Friday, and it could be slower than last year. The National Retail Federation forecasts nearly 187 million people will shop online or in stores between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. That's fewer than the near record number it reported in 2024. Today's shoppers might have added incentive to look for deals. Some face lower disposable income due to higher food and energy costs.
The places where inflation's hitting us leave very little margin for going out and kind of blowing it on a luxury air fryer.
To help people budget, some experts recommend what's called the 1% rule.
Take 1% of your annual income and make that the ceiling, so the upper bound for the entire season. If you make $70K, that's $700 for everything. So for gifts, travel, food, hosting.
This expert suggests starting with that total and then making a list instead of the other way around. She also says limiting transactions could reduce spending.
The number of swipes or purchases is one of the easiest ways to avoid that quiet buildup of all the micro spending and micro swipes that really blow up even the best laid plans.
Research shows some retailers increase prices before Black Friday. That means not all sales offer true discounts, but
Black Friday and Cyber Monday is definitely the best time to get deals. It's not a scam.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And just a quick reminder, folks, if you're going to be out there shopping today, the Corpus Christi Police Department wants to remind you to lock your doors. It's easy, right? Shopping centers are a hot spot for thieves. So according to CCPD, last year alone, there were 1,600 auto burglaries here. 700 of those cars were unlocked, too. So don't make it easy for those Grinches. If you like it, lock it.
Now, we have plenty of neighborhood news to get to this morning, from neighbors not letting high meat prices affect their holidays to a boutique and artist spreading holiday cheer in London. We have you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
The holiday season is here, and meat prices are still putting pressure on families. Local meat market owner Peter Patel says prices spiked in September and have only come down slightly, nowhere near enough for most shoppers to return to their traditional cuts. He says many of his customers are still choosing cheaper options to stretch their budgets. At the shop, several shoppers told me they're making the same adjustments, swapping out full turkeys or more expensive meats for whatever costs less. They say it's a sign of the times, but even with high prices, they're determined not to miss their holiday dinners with family.
What is it that you want for Christmas? I want a Gabby's dollhouse, a little car that you can drive around, pillow, clothes, and a Squishmallow. Body a bed on Tesla Chuck, Dragon Ball Z action figures, clothes, books, anything I'm blessed with, Legos, Christmas clothes.
Those are some of the items children in the Kingsville area will like to find under their Christmas tree. And for some of them, the only way they will receive any gifts at all this year is through the Salvation Army of Kingsville Angel Tree Program. Through the Angel Tree Program, you can adopt an angel or as many as you like by going to the Kingsway Family Church office or the local Walmart. The angel will tell you what the child you selected will like for Christmas. You can drop off the gift back at the church. For parents like Victoria Quintanilla, the Angel Tree Program is a blessing. Victoria is partially deaf and blind. That makes it harder for her to get a job, but participating in the program puts her at ease because she knows that thanks to the Angel Tree Program, her children will have a merry and blessed Christmas. If you are a family in need of assistance, you can still sign up for your children to be angels.
A local artist and a small business are teaming up to spread some holiday gratitude. Laura Neola Acevedo and her husband run Known, a faith-based boutique they opened earlier this year. As the holidays got closer, they wanted something more meaningful than just switching decor. So they called their friend, local muralist Daniel De Leon.
God is our light, right? And so I was just like, do Starry Night vibes, like just make the windows real dark and then the light just beaming on Jesus, because it's really just about Jesus.
And for both of them, this is about using their gifts to lift others this season. If you want to see the art for yourself, or just check out the store in general, they're located at 1290 FM 43, Suite E at the London Square Plaza. In London, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
Well, hey there and good morning, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones, taking a live look out at our USS Lexington Cam. Thanks to First Community Bank, you can see plenty of cloud cover out there. The new Harbor Bridge in view. A few cars starting to head out for that morning commute, and the aquarium nice and lit up. 63 degrees with some breezy winds also out of the northeast around 10 miles an hour. What to expect for the rest of the day? Well, that cloud cover going to be sticking around into the afternoon, keeping us nice and cool though. Breezy winds also going to be sticking around from this morning into the afternoon, even picking up a little bit and turning slightly out of the southeast to around that 20 to even 30 mile an hour mark with some of the gusts, but also isolated brief showers going to be passing around the region today. So if you want to keep that umbrella on standby, wouldn't be a horrible idea as we go into our Friday. Over the past 24 hours have seen a decent increase in temperatures compared to where we were starting off yesterday for our Thanksgiving, about 5 to even upwards of 10 degrees warmer in some regions as we're going throughout our Friday morning, and that's translating to about 58 there in Beeville, a good 12-degree run towards Port Aransas, 70 this morning, 60 over there as we work into Robstown and off towards the southwest Hebronville, rounding us out at about 64 degrees. So a spread of those temperatures this morning, either way, a little bit warmer than where we were starting off yesterday. As we're looking at our dog walking forecast today, we've got Bella here enjoying some nice sunshine. Unfortunately, not as much sun today for her to enjoy out there, but as we get ready for that walk to go get the mail, not too bad this morning. 71 by 9 a.m., 73 what we're going to be holding on to as we head into into the early afternoon and out for lunch as we go out there. Winds out of the east and turning out of the southeast around 20 miles an hour, so pretty breezy, but then those wind gusts going to be even breezier, pushing 30 miles an hour from about 11 a.m. through that dinner time frame before they start to come down to 20 to 25 miles an hour, so not a huge decrease in those winds as we go into the overnight hours. Either way, going to be a breezy Friday on the way for the coastal bend. As we look at daytime highs, though, just pretty much great out there, almost room temperature in the low to mid 70s for us across the board in the coastal bend today. That's what we're going to be looking at, maybe those upper 70s if we get a little bit more sunshine, but not looking too likely for the time being. In our upper level pattern, by the weekend, we're going to see this first shot of cold air working into the central United States, and then a reinforcing shot working in as we go into next week by Monday into Tuesday, so keeping us nice and cool and in those upper 50s it looks like to start off next week, but a little bit of a roller coaster to get through first as we go into tomorrow. Going to see those 80s return and more humid air, so sweaty weather tomorrow, and then as we go into Sunday, that's where we start to see the sweater weather make its return to the area with those upper 50s sticking around. But as we go into the back half of next week, that's where we start to get more around average temperatures back to the coastal bend in those low to mid 70s once again. So for our 7-day forecast, also a bit of a roller coaster going from those 80s to the 50s, but I'm a little bit more excited about the rain chances on the board sticking around with the cold front then Monday and into the middle of next week as we warm up just a little bit towards those lower 70s by Wednesday.
Stephen, thank you so much. Appreciate you, sir. Well, over 250,000. That's how many packages are stolen from homes each and every day. That's according to a new report. So Scripps News Group's consumer reporter John Matarese looks at how to shop smart and keep your packages safe this Black Friday so you don't waste your money.
As you scroll through those Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals, you might be focused on the price, but criminals are focused on the fact that you'll probably have packages arriving in the next few days. And so the important thing is keeping those precious gifts out of their hands.
Joan Wright watches over her granddaughter and her holiday packages.
As soon as that truck comes up and delivers, I've got it off the porch.
Smart move, according to Mason McCarty, manager of this Safe Ship packaging store.
You just got to know that people are driving around looking for packages this time of year. There's no other way to put it.
According to a SafeWise report, 104 million packages were stolen nationwide this past year. That's well over 250,000 packages per day. Rebecca Edwards with SafeWise says while porch piracy costs consumers billions, it costs retailers even more.
When that package goes missing, there is the potential that then that retailer is going to replace the item. So it's repeating the entire original cost all over again.
She urges shoppers to schedule deliveries when you're home or monitor deliveries while you're away. She says provide detailed delivery instructions for drivers or direct the packages to be delivered somewhere else. Experts say traditional cameras and doorbells are useful, but suggest technology that helps prevent the crime, not just record the crime.
You know that your package was taken and somebody took it, you can turn it over to the police. That doesn't really solve the problem.
Human Shahidi with Simply Safe recommends professional monitoring to interrupt porch pirates in the act.
You're being monitored and recorded by Simply Safe. How may I help you?
McCarty points out that even safe neighborhoods can be targets.
Doesn't matter where your neighborhood is. They will come and they will get your package if it sits there long enough.
So take a few simple steps so you don't waste your money. John Matarese, Scripps News Group.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
One of the 2 National Guard soldiers shot during Wednesday's attack has died. Sarah Beckstrom was 20 years old. She joined the Guard in 2023. She reportedly volunteered to work this week so others could go home to spend Thanksgiving with their families. In announcing her death, President Trump called Beckstrom a highly respected person. The second victim, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, is in critical condition. The shooting is now being investigated as an act of terror.
The death toll in the Hong Kong apartment fire has risen to 94, with dozens still missing. According to officials, 76 people have been injured, including 11 firefighters now. Search and rescue teams continue to look for people trapped inside the complex. Authorities have launched a criminal investigation, and so far 3 people have been arrested. The cause of the fire is still not known.
Pope Leo continues his trip to Turkey today. The head of the Catholic Church is expected to visit the Sultan Ahmed Mosque. He will also hold a private meeting with the leaders of local Christian communities and visit the Church of St. George. In the afternoon, the pontiff will meet with the head of the Eastern Orthodox Church before holding Mass. This is Pope Leo's first foreign trip during his papacy.
Various cheese products distributed by Ambriola Company are under recall. It's after routine testing found the presence of Listeria contamination. A notice from the Food and Drug Administration says the cheeses were distributed nationwide between November 3rd and November 20th. The products under recall include 4 and 8-ounce cups of Locatelli Pecorino Romano grated cheese, 6-ounce cup containers of Boar's Head labeled grated Pecorino Romano, and Members Mark Pecorino Romano in 1.5-pound bag. Anyone who has bought those cheeses should throw it out or return the product for a full refund.
The Powerball jackpot is now estimated at $719 million. If someone wins, they will be able to choose from the lump sum cash value worth more than $333 million or the full amount over 30 years. The jackpot grew after no one matched all 6 numbers in Wednesday night's drawing. The next Powerball lottery drawing is Saturday.
On the flip side of all that Black Friday shopping, today is also International Buy Nothing Day. It's a tradition that started in Canada in the 90s and encourages people to abstain from making purchases. Supporters consider it a brief detox from consumerism. Organizers say it's important for people to challenge the companies on their business practices and the impacts overproduction is having on the environment.
All right, on to what's trending, folks. A Belgian sheepdog was the winner at this year's National Dog Show. Soleil was named Best in Show at the Kennel Club of Philadelphia's 2025 National Dog Show. She defeated one of the most formidable collections of group winners in National Dog Show history. Every dog who advanced to the round of 7 finals was ranked number 1 in their breed nationally. Yet this time, Soleil delivered a virtually flawless performance. And her handler said that her attitude and movement made all the difference.
What a beautiful pooch, though. Oh, my goodness. And then I see the other dogs when they had that group shot. They're also pretty, too. So I can't imagine trying to, judge one of these events.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be tough. And you said that was a tradition growing up, right?
Yeah.
You always used
we
to
didn't
watch
get
the
to
dog
watch
show.
it this year, though. We were busy cooking, so no TV on, just the Christmas music.
Yes, already doing the Christmas decorations. All right, real quick, too, we have a couple of matching Buc-ee's Christmas onesies that we went ahead and put on to, get into that holiday spirit. Have you started Christmas decorations yet?
Yes, I've already got the Christmas tree up, a couple things. Is the Christmas tree up?
Not yet.
We're going to start this weekend.
Yeah,
though.
that's this weekend.
That's fair. That's probably the proper timing, I think, to do it. We decided to speed it up just a little bit. We're like, let's just go ahead and get the Christmas tree up, get it out of the way. So not too bad. I personally wish it was feeling a little bit more like the season. It's not too bad, though. It's been nice and cool in terms of those daytime highs, at least, but still have just a little bit of work to do to get to some more below average temperatures. Taking a live look out at our USS Lexington cam, thanks to First Community Bank, sitting at 63 degrees, about 8 degrees warmer than we were starting off yesterday morning, around 55 or so, with those winds fairly breezy out of the north right now at about 12 miles an hour, so not too bad at all. But as we go into the rest of our day, here's a look at what to expect. Still going to hold on to a lot of that cloud cover, going to keep us nice and cool. The similar story of what it does during the nighttime. It holds in that heat, but as we go into the daytime, it keeps us from getting too hot, luckily, with the sunshine warming us up. Also, the breezy winds, they're out of the northeast, a little variable right now, going to turn out of the southeast into the afternoon and pick up in speed just a little bit, even with gusts upwards of 35 miles an hour. Then the rain-wise situation, going to see just a few of those isolated showers today, so you could keep the umbrella on standby just in case, but not looking at too many major downpours for us in the coastal bend. For that temperature change over the past 24 hours, all of us about 5 to even upwards of 11 degrees warmer than where we were starting off our Thanksgiving morning, and what that translates to about 58 degrees in Beeville this morning, a good 12-degree run as you work your way to Puerto Rico. Aransas at 70 degrees, Hebbronville 64, and then as we look at Kingsville rounding us out at that 63-degree mark. So not too bad, but still, like I said, a little bit of work to go to get below average temperatures. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Bella here just enjoying some nice sun rays. Unfortunately, not as much sun today for Bella to enjoy, but as she gets ready for that walk to go get the mail, temperatures not too bad at all. 72 by 10 a.m. Still holding on to those lower 70s as we're heading out for lunch. And like we talked about, the winds picking up out of the southeast towards that 20-mile-an-hour mark also as we're heading out for lunch this afternoon. With those wind gusts, though, they're going to get upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour, especially around that 3 p.m. time frame, coming down slightly towards 20 to 25 miles an hour as we work into the later portions of the overnight hours, and chasing forecast highs in those low to mid 70s today as we get a good look at that 7-day forecast for you. A bit of a roller coaster on the board for us. 81 by tomorrow. That cold front works in dropping us way down to the upper 50s, but more scattered rain on the board. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of this changing forecast, I'll call it for now. What about y'all?
I can actually deal with it right now, so
okay.
I'm in a good place.
Now that you're actually eating again
It's
a lot
fat
more.
thing.
Yeah,
it's a body
exactly. Well, hey, thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Go out and get those awesome Black Friday deals. We'll see you bright and early Monday morning.
Bye.